Another beautiful morning to talk sports right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. This is Dominion Sports, where we talk all things sport right here on the go. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and this wonderful morning we have stories still coming from the camp of NSC and the NFF. Also, we're giving you update more transfer stories are still making the round in the world of football. Also, I'm informing that Ikorodu City, Joseph Arumala has made a move away from Ikorodu City. All this and more right here on the show. And I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have Jessica Suji joining me to talk sport right here on the go. Jessica, top of the morning to you, and how are you feeling?
Wonderful morning to you, Toluwani, and also to the viewers. It's been amazing. We have been on this issue and saga of the NSC and also NFF, the back and forth. We still get more updates on that, and also we'll be talking about German Musiala, the whole story, issues and concern about his health, and we'll be looking at some transfer news and also be preparing for the EPL. 2 days to go now, so we'll be looking forward to that. Keep the audience updated, and let's get it started.
All right, just like yesterday, we gave you an update about the new rules, being made for next season when it comes to the Premier League. We'll be giving you more updates on that. We'll be talking about some teams to look forward to, and major transfers are making the round in the world of sport. But let's take stories from the camp of NSC, as Director General Honorable Bukola Olokpade has called for calm as Nigerian football undergoes reforms, urging stakeholders and fans to remain patient with the process. According to him, while football remains important, Nigeria should also take solace in remarkable progress being recorded in other sports, stressing that the nation's sporting development should not be viewed through the lens of football alone. Let's listen to Honorable Bukola Olokpade. We're going to talk about all of this story making around in the world of sport this morning.
Look, listen, it is sports. You win some, you lose some. Who says it has to be our right to always be at the World Cup? Italy has won the World Cup 4 times. They've not been to the World Cup. Look, listen, it is sports. You win some, you lose some. Who says it has to be our right to always be at the World Cup? Italy has won the World Cup 4 times. They've not been to the World Cup 3 times. In fact, 12-year-old children in Italy have never seen Italy in the World Cup. So, all of you just calm down. The Olympics are around the corner. I'm sure with the discussions going on between the NSC and the NFF, we have a meeting again on Monday to see how we can tweak the technical team of the Falcons. We've done that with the under-23s that will play for men. Eric Chile has been picked to coach the team. This is because we are desirous of ensuring that we qualified football for the Olympics. But again, if you are wallowing in the sadness of Super Falcons not qualifying, bask in the euphoria of the joy of watching a fencing event that is world class and that is turning out gold medals. Nigeria is a great country. We cannot be defined by only football. We have so many sports that are doing well globally, and we must enjoy every sport.
All right, you're welcome back to Dominion Sports. Jessica, Honorable Bukola Olokpade speaking, and trust me, I felt, irritated to listen to him because he made several remarks. You talk about wallowing in pain. You use Italy as a yardstick for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, or maybe Nigerian sports football in general. The Italy you're talking about has won the World Cup. Have we won the World Cup before? So you can't use that as a yardstick. And football is what everybody knows Nigeria to be. We know that there are other sports that we can focus on, but it's football that brings everybody together in Nigeria, another part of the world. So if you as the Director General, you come out to speak to Nigerian fans this way, I think it's still important to the question of a structural problem, because you should also know how to communicate. For me, this is total abysmal. I wasn't expecting him to speak like this. And you put the word "we are wallowing in pain." You shouldn't use. Come on, Jessica, talk to me quickly.
Well, I will understand this part when it comes to that word patient, but we have been patient enough. We can't come back the years we've been hammering for answers when it comes to that, for structural problems and that. But he making a statement that there are other sports. Yeah, fine, there are other sports. We've been glorious in that.
Yeah.
You know, the Commonwealth. Yes,
yeah,
But it's not when we see something great, we praise it. But when we see a mistake, we call out for it.
Yeah.
We want answer. We want a correction to be done to it. So him coming out to say, using an example of another country, history and that, we're not the same with Italy.
Yeah.
Italy have their own problems to solve that. We want our own problem to solve that.
Yeah.
So him coming out to use example valuing pain. This is WAFCON. WAFCON was done and we came into it. We won it 10 times.
Yeah.
Now it's not like we're reshaping history in a bad way. We're not even adding to the history at this point in time. So when it comes to him saying, oh, there are other sports, fine, we have the basketball, the women just concluded under
18.
Under 18 basketball. They did well. We commended them. But when it comes to that of you can't compare football, which is a recognizable game all over the world, with its economic and cultural influence in Nigeria. No, you can't talk about football where you will not say in Nigeria there has so much knowledge about it compared to other sports. So when we see a problem in it, we will notice it very fast. So now these two recent incident, which is the Super Eagles not qualifying for the World Cup and the Super Falcons, it's just like a bigger lens to now everybody's seeing that this is now affecting us in when it comes, because assuming if we have won the game, we have gone to qualify,
we'll still be nursing the problem.
Yes, definitely. We will just be pushing it aside. Maybe we could be taking care of later. But now we want results. So it's not bad for us to call out for results. It's not bad for us to call out for correction. So in being the sport administrator talking about this, it's not something we expect him to do. He's here to give us response. He's here to give us answer.
And the response didn't come out well.
It didn't come out
So I want to ask you now, because they're not trying to glorify other sports. Are we not supposed to participate in other sports? Are we not supposed to do well in other sports? If there are things done properly, are we not supposed to be winning medals in other sports? Do Australia and other countries who are participating in other sports, do they have different heads? Do they have another? Now, for instance, China is not known for football. We are known for football. Before all of the athletics competition and all of that, we are known for football. So if we are saying that what we are known for is a problem currently, why not solve it and let's know that, okay, this is what we are doing at this point in time. I'm not glorifying what not, because honestly speaking, I wasn't expecting Bukola Olopade to come out and speak like this to Nigerians. And if you check the internet, it's going bonkers. People are angry and furious that you cannot come out to speak to us like this and use the word "we are wallowing in pain." That's a big insult and a slap to Nigerians as a whole.
The Football Federation in Nigeria has just been the problem, because if we're talking about, okay, this is not a problem, we want to water it down, we should not forget that we have an administration, we have a board for it, and the board has members in it that are coordinating plans, games, tournaments, even youth development as a whole. Even we have investment sometimes coming out for it, but sometimes we're not seeing results we want to see when it comes to that level. And it's just so sad that at this point in time, with the roadmap we need, the timeline we need for this reform that they set, the NSC has said for 3 months, it's just something that will be of repeat, that it's not yield that result again, just like we want and we expected to be. But because now him coming out is just them having to downplay it, that it shouldn't be the matter of issue. It should that we should look at other sports.
We should look at other sports. Let's glorify other sports.
We will glorify it when it's doing well, and when there's a problem, we call it out, and even want we want results, because you can't save Nigeria. We put ourselves out at the big stage when it comes to football. We have many talents. We've seen names that have come out, players in football as well. Because if you're mentioning other countries that are known for other things, you talk about Brazil for the football. You know, they have talent for them.
They're not known for athletics.
Even the sport, this Winter Olympic, when I was not seeing Nigeria participating that much in it, okay, there could be factors like, okay, we didn't have the snow, the environment, the weather is not helping to build up those sports. But when I see Nigeria participating in that bobsled and also other sports, it's giving something like of great joy to see, okay, we are still having more talent that can be discovered in this aspect. So you coming out to say we shouldn't look at football, we will look at it because our names are being put there in history, and we have so many icons from there. So we don't want to water it down. If they want to provide us, they should start now. And the time has already been given 3 months, and we want to see results.
All right, definitely we are asking for result, nothing more than result. And you know, Honorable Bukola Olokpade, I'm saying it right now that you should not be speaking to Nigerians in such a manner, because come on, we're just asking for clear answers. It's just the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum. I don't know how well I want to say it, but it's just the bare minimum. All right, let's move away from that story. Let's give you update from the camp of Ikorodu City. Done and dusted. Joseph Arumala sold to Egyptian side by his brothers once again. Al Ittihad Alexandria of Egypt have completed and officially announced the signing of a 22-year-old Nigerian winger Joseph Arumala from Nigerian Football Club Ikorodu City FC for a fee of around 50k euros. He signed a 3-year deal contract with the club until 2029. Remember, he also had 13 goals, you know, in the league last season. I think it's a great deal. You know that Ikorodu City are doing great business. You know, at least your talent, you can generate money from that. Talk to me about that deal, Ikorodu City and Joseph Arumala.
It's a great deal for Ikorodu City, especially when it comes to that sell-on clause they can add to it. It will be something of revenue generation for them, because now you're looking at the NPFL club owners. These are ways to know when you generate talents like this. But it will just be something that I'll be sad of to see. You know, talent, sometimes we can't retain them based on, you know, players want to play outside of the country to, you know, to gather much experience, if you ask me. But sometimes we question how the deal that will it be of something that maybe it was money generated, or money orientated, sorry, rather than the talent itself. But at the same time, it goes both ways for the club and the player. Hopefully we can see him getting more experience, or even being included when it comes to, you know, the Super Eagles squad or that. But at the same time, he had a fantastic season in Ikorodu City. So it's go both ways. Good luck to him and also to Ikorodu City, and hope to see who they will replace him with when it comes to transfer
market. And let me just chip this in quickly. It's 9 days to go to the NPFL. How excited are you? And you know, there are still more complaints about some reforms in the NPFL for next season. But I just want to ask you, away from the problem, I think we have been talking so much about the problem. You know, what should we look forward to? You know, in the NPFL for next season? Just touching it a little bit.
We definitely look forward to the good side of it. If we're talking about the bad side, you know, when it comes to the administration, when it comes to even the new structure, when it comes to the money prize and also player, you know, player salaries and that. But the good side of it would be like what thing this NPFL season, and when it comes to that transfer market, that clubs are not holding back when it comes to making signings. You could see a club like Shooting Star making more than 8 signings. You know, it shows that they want that reform. It shows that they want to go in on that for the season. You know, you're looking at clubs playing in that CAF Confederation Cup and also Continental Sport. So it's definitely something I feel like we will see much more reform. We see much excitement, you know, because we know NPFL being a season, because last season it boils down to the point where we started using our calculator, you know, calculating this game or home win advantage. You know, these are things that bring this excitement when it comes to this NPFL. But at the same time, I'm just so excited that the clubs are not holding back when it comes to making transfer. It shows reformment, but it's just so sad that the bad side of it is this taking shape. You know, we're looking at Caliphate, we're looking at Niger Tornadoes, you know, the disbandment of the board, whereby the board members, you know, not having head coach up to now. You know, this all this, if it is not settled, it will definitely play a role in the upcoming season. All
right, we'll be giving you more updates. It's just 9 days to go to the NPFL, and definitely we'll be bringing you more stories from that end. All right, let's move away from that. Let's talk, you know, athletics. As Honorable Olokpade, I said we should look towards athletics. All right, Tobi Amusan is Atlas Bound. Let me inform you that the world record holder has been confirmed to compete at the 2026 Atlas, which is a women-only professional track meet. She will compete in both legs of the meet, which will take place in Stonex Stadium right there in London on the 18th of September, and the Archer Stadium in New York City on the 2nd of October 2026. Toby Amuso is set to take part right there in Atlas. What are you anticipating and looking forward to? The Commonwealth did not really turn out for her. She got the bronze medal. She complained about fitness issue and all of that. Do you see her also breaking record, setting new one, and also achieving great feats?
She should set new ones for me, because she'll continue her legacy when it comes to athletics and all. And she's been one of those top athletes when it comes to Nigeria in general. And for just like we watched the video of the sports administrator saying we should look for to other sports. We've been looking forward to other sports. We've been calling out great performance by all these athletes in the Commonwealth. So this now is just what we have to show, rally and support, like we have always been doing. Like it's not something of common of Nigeria showing support when it comes to sports like this. If you see one of our own doing great, and so this being a woman-only competition, it shows it just gives her the ability to improve in an international level experience, gather more records to that, and also maybe improve and show great strength when it comes to do 100 meters hurdles. And so I don't expect something much less from her, because she's been great. When you talk about athletics, you can't skip her name off that. Toby Amuson has been great, winning medals for Nigeria countless times. So nothing short of expectation, just giving her credit, and hopefully she doesn't, she doesn't get mixed up, with fatigues and issues of injury just like that. So great luck, and just wish her well.
All right, definitely we'll be looking forward to giving you more update from that competition, the meet with Toby Amuso participating in that competition. All right, let's move away from that. Let's give you update that CAF referee of the year, Omar Atan, has been invited by UEFA to attend the UEFA's men's summer course 2026 in Geneva, Switzerland. And let me inform you that the course will take place from 31st to August to the 2nd of September 2026. UEFA has also indicated that they want Omar Atan to officiate football matches in Europe. Let me inform you that UEFA has sent an official letter to CAF and the Somalia FA to inform them about the invitation. I want to ask you, Jessica, do you see this as a political move? Yeah, and then remember the issue with FIFA and the ongoing issue with UEFA and FIFA, where at the World Cup, it was supposed to be at the World Cup, but they didn't allow him coming because of several issues with his nation and all of that. Do you see this as a political move here and there between UEFA and FIFA, and what is in line for Omar Atan?
We could say it's go both ways, because now the issues of FIFA and UEFA at this point in time is just and it's so sad that countries are now being involved in it. FIFA should be something that unites all nations together, but if this is something as a political move, it would be sad, because I feel like if UEFA is looking forward to African, when it comes to African officiating and also African football in general, it will be something so great for African referees and officials when it comes to that, because you're looking at him having to officiate the UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah.
It's something so great, and him being the first Somalian referee is great. He won the CAF Men's Referee of the Year, and it just shows his pedigree and being best at what he does. So if UEFA has been able to identify him and see his quality, so there's no doubt that this could open more doors for African referees. To move into that international level, and him taking that course, is going to add so much to him, to his decisions, to his officiating, and I can't wait to see maybe some Nigerians' names also making those rounds. But when it comes to that political aspect, it will be so sad, because now we don't want to be bringing nations against each other,
and bringing an individual
and
in the case,
no,
who has nothing to
do it,
yeah,
because
to do
when
with it,
his visa was even denying him from officiating in the World Cup, it was so sad. You know, there were many debates to it. You know, was it the US having problems and
his country,
so
for the man, he has no bad record.
He has no bad record, so it was so sad. But now, if UEFA identifying him, you know, I've seen his qualities, then I'm so happy for him because I know what this will bring to the African officiating.
Yeah, okay, definitely. We hope that this will bring more glory to African, officiating team across the world. All right, let's move away from that. Let's give you update from Bayern Munich as Jamal Musiala has broken his silence after collapsing twice in Bayern Munich friendlies against RB Leipzig and Eidem. Let me inform you that he said, the first things first, I'm doing well. Above all, I am incredibly grateful for all your messages and your support. I've been diagnosed with a brief temporary episode of absence that are easily treatable and are caused by a dysfunction. Let me inform you that this can lead to the moment that occurred recently, such against RB Leipzig and Eidem. Let me inform you that I know that this may be scary at first glance, but for me, these are currently simple part of everyday life. I am receiving the best possible medical care in this regard. I am very optimistic that this phase will pass. Above all, I'm still having a good feeling. I am in a good path to move forward with FC Bayern Munich. That's the update we are getting from Jamal Musiala. We saw the first collapse right there against RB Leipzig. Everybody were worried. They said it was about the heat, all of that. Then the next one again, within few days, and it cost, for concern for Jamal Musiala, a player of his caliber, and he has come out to break the silence.
It's so sad because when I watched the first collapse, I was so scared because as we've seen incident like that whereby players, even head concussion, we get scared. There's this concern that just grew in our heart. We get scared, praying for the players to get better. But him coming out to reassure the fans, but that still does not clarify, that is does not bring out a bold statement. Maybe is he maybe he's health-wise okay for that?
Is it okay to compete? What are the doctors saying? But he has said that everything is fine. But should we still be worried?
That's the fact, because the first one, it was Sabari just holding him. I could see the dizziness in his eyes. It was because he's just young at this young age. It's called for concern because we'll be worried that what's going on? Is this an heart failure or some stages like that? But he has come out to reassure the fans, and one thing we just hope and pray for, that him and his medical team can do something better to clarify these problems, and hopefully he get better in good shape. But it has come to the question now whereby we start questioning footballers of when to take their heads
out of the game,
rather than the love for the game. So it's still debatable, but at the same time, if he's okay, he has reassured the fans. So we just hope his medical team can get everything in the right shape and get him fit and better for the next season.
All right, we hope for the very best for Jamal Musiala. That's the prayer. We want every player to be in good health and definitely play good football for next season. All right, let's talk about transfer quickly. As Axel Witsel has said is going to join OGC Nice in France for next season on a free transfer. Axel Witsel is not it's not a small at the age of 37. How do you see him contributing to a side like this for next season?
Well, he's not a small footballer when it comes to that. In his time at Borussia Dortmund, look at this players, he's playing at the Belgium national team. So it's going to be something debatable of where players reaching at this stage, they start playing for clubs that just want to get their signatures for playing time and game times like that. But at the same time, it's a good move for him. He's still in Europe. He's still moving to one of those. OGNs are one of the top teams when it comes to League One. So we still get to see his playing style, his attributes and ability. But but he's still going. His age is still is not more on his side, so we can't expect more something more better. But at the same time, we could just say we see him in the top league. Hopefully, he gets to perform well and just have that brilliant season to himself.
All right, beautiful. All right, let's give you update from the camp of Manchester United quickly. That Manchester United are set to sign Carlos Baleba from Brighton of Albion as new midfielder. This dropped today. Official bid for 70 million plus 6 million add-ons are sent to Brighton as David Austin broke the news. No club-to-club agreement yet, but United sent the new bid. Baleba pushing since August 2025 to join Manchester United. Talk to me about this deal. You know, there have been reports about, Carlos Baleba since last season. He wanted to join personal agreement, but Brighton of Albion blocked the move. They wanted more, almost, they were demanding for 100 plus right there for last season. But right now, the deal is around 70 plus 6 million added. How do you see Carlos Baleba as an addition to Manchester United? And also, there are concerns of his current injury, crisis, because according to the report, we heard that he's going to be fit till September. So why do you think Manchester United are pushing for this deal for Carlos Baleba?
It's still up in the mist because going for a player that's still out injured, we can't say it's just only his attributes and talent alone is making you go for it. Maybe there's more to decide that, and Michael Carrick still want to add to this Manchester United team. Then maybe there's still a need to pack up the midfield, and also like this side. We were talking about André Santos this side, Yuri Tillemans, and also Bruno Fernandes also in that mix. So he's still, I will see him as a better option for a squad to make up the squad.
The squad depth.
The squad depth. When the season will go to a period whereby injury will start. So
that player will just cover up.
Because,
and for Manchester United, we are playing Champions League,
yes,
FA Cup.
Many games are that. Games, so it's just a great addition. But for Brighton with Albion, there have been clubs whereby I don't know how they do it. They have that scouting. The scouting teams know how to pick up talent, groom them, and whereby they just sell it to the point whereby they've named them the Chelsea Academic, whereby they sell it, and it's been a great business for them. They know how to do. They know how to do that.
Yeah,
so
I think other clubs should learn from them.
Definitely. So it's a great it's a great a mixture for them. They have the money now. They can go out to the transfer market, buy players replacement that they always do, and also for Manchester United, just to see how they will be able to manage his injury crisis when it comes to the club.
All right, that's the update for Manchester United fans. And let me serve you update also from the camp of Chelsea as Joao Pedro puts pen to paper and sign new Chelsea deal until 2032. Document approved. The Brazilian stays and get a salary rise, while new contract also include option to extend beyond 2022. Let me inform you that Joao Pedro is a key part of Chelsea's project for next season. How exciting will this be for Chelsea fans and also for their new coach, Xabi Alonso?
Yeah, it's a great addition. Ever since he's made that move from Brighton of Albion to Chelsea, we've seen his quality from the FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup, his impact, the immediate effect he took into that team, and also now to the Premier League. Even Chelsea were struggling to gather a point, but he was still delivering, like being consistent at that point in time. So he's a great addition now, because there was this time where Barcelona were in the midst for his signature, but now he's showing his commitment. Hopefully, Xabi Alonso, can make great use of him, and we see more of the likes of him, Morgan Rogers, and also Kopama, and see what they can bring to that Chelsea side when it comes to that attacking threat.
Now, I want to ask you, what do you think Chelsea will bring for next season? How do you think their style of play would look like? Do you see Chelsea competing, for the Premier League next season?
I can't say much, but one thing is definitely social to me is that now we have fewer games to play. There's no Champions League in the mix, so definitely they'll be looking for the domestic cup up for a run and up for a grab. But when it comes to that attacking, when it comes to that threat of challenging for the EPL title is still far beyond. I still get there's still gap for them to they need to close up, because now they're focusing more now on the offloading of players, because they've made numerous signings in the past, whereby sometimes some pays off, some did not. Now it's become more of like players just a large squad numbers rather than having that definite squad you need for the next season. And sometimes it's caused so much headache for the coach, whereby the players start noticing, oh, the coach has a team A, team B. You know, these are things whereby it's good when it comes to, you know, replacing players for injury, but at the same time, it mess up the coach tactical, you know, drills and formations like that. But at the same time, they are still up in the mix for the when it comes to, you know, maybe securing that Champions League slot for next season. But when it comes to their EPL title, I feel they still need to do more for that.
All right, that's the update from the camp of Chelsea. And let's give you stories that Paul Pogba leaves AS Monaco by terminating the contract mutually, is now available as free agent. MLS and Saudi Pro League clubs already are called in recent weeks with decision to follow next. What next for Paul Pogba?
The story,
with the injury crisis, and all
the
of
ban,
that, yeah.
it's been tough for him.
Would you advise him to, you know, just call it quits?
I would advise him to call it quits, because even his time after the ban, him trying to redeem himself through making that move to Monaco.
He didn't play much at all.
He did. The injury still eats it, and it's something. It's so sad when you see players of that great quality, because you remember Pogba for the French national team, Juventus, you know, you even at Manchester United, but now he just he's someone that we only call when we want to, you know, just to make a reference now at this point in time. So it's just one advice to. I would say if he feels like, but at the same time, it would be good for him to just, you know, hang up the boots, call it a quit, and there are other things to do when it comes to that football. You know, it could be a football pundit, you know, analyze games and all that, and he will still be doing well at that point. But when it comes to that football experience and ability, he's just so short of it.
All right, let's give you update, you know, more stories from the world of transfer. This is coming from the camp of Aston Villa, that after Matteo Ruggeri, also Zion Suzuki announced as new Aston Villa player. Done deal, 30 million plus 5 million add-ons for Zion Suzuki. And also let me inform you that the deal was done from Parma. The next up is Aaron Wan-Bissaka on loan, already doing his medical. I think it's an interesting time already for Aston Villa at this point in time. Quickly,
interesting time, because now Suzuki was to make that move to Paris Saint-Germain, but now they are getting he's a young gem to me, because they have Emilio Martinez at this point in time.
The saga is, I feel sad for him actually.
Yes,
you know, he wanted to make the move to Manchester United. That didn't happen. Juventus came calling. Already they picked up Vicario.
Yes,
it's sad.
So you can't, and his future is not decided yet. Anything can come now and make up. So them having that, being able to just hijack the deal for Suzuki is just so great for them. And also for Wan-Bissaka, it will be a great addition to their left back, and we see what they will bring when it comes to Champions League next season. I just have that feeling that every team is going in and out for it. You know, they are playing for Champions League. It's time to reinforce your team. Now that they are also making, you know, sales. You know, you look at the players like such as Yoris Tielemans, such as Morgan Rogers. So they have to, you know, refill those positions. They have to refill their squad, and they are already making it, and it seems like a good signing to me, and it will be a great addition to them. Both players are worthy of it. So let's see where they will end up at the end of the day. All right,
and let's move away from that. Let's wrap up the show with this, you know, from the camp of the Galacticos, Real Madrid, as Jose Mourinho has said Real Madrid cannot have any player who thinks twice. That's Rodri. And he said, Jose Mourinho on Rodri's doubt. Real Madrid cannot have players who think to us, you get the call and say, when do you want me to be here? And he also said, he had conversations with Rodri, and Rodri was giving doubt. I think that was where the clause was. But come on, Rodri can't make his decision. But I think I want to lean to a side like Jose Mourinho. For a club like Madrid, once you place a call through, I know it's your decision to make, but it's Madrid calling comment.
Madrid is a big club. Players like this, they dream to play in this Bernabeu. But for Rodri, his decision, just like we said, he has to make that choice for himself. Where he will be fitted to join. And for Jose Mourinho coming out to say that's a bold statement for him. He's already taking charge of that dressing room, telling the player there's no change in mind. If you want to stay at Real Madrid, stay. Play your heart all in for Real Madrid. We don't want players doubting their place.
Their place
in the squad. Team, so you have to be in for Real Madrid. And just like we said, Madrid have been making some signings, getting players from free agents, and also making signings just such as Cucurella. You look at
Dumfries, Konate,
so they are not stopping, and Madrid is a big club. Whenever they call for players like this, player begs for their number. So for Rodri, it's just his choice, and where he seems to be fitted in. So we just hope to see how these two sides will face each other when it comes to La Liga.
All right. Beautiful. It's going to be exciting to see that one right there in La Liga for next season. We're going to give you more updates tomorrow right here on the go. We're going to start off, giving you back-to-back latest transfer in the Premier League, because we have just 2 days to go. Arsenal are going to open the floor with the newly promoted side, Coventry City. We'll be talking about that and more stories making the round in the world of sport. I want to say a big thank you to my producer, to the director, and every crew member in the house for keeping Dominion Sport on the global stage. Till we see again tomorrow right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. I remain Paul Abetoluwanimi and Jessica. Thank you so much for joining. Stay blessed and keep watching Dominion Television, your channel of choice.